What's going on, everyone? This is Zach, and this is the second time I'm trying to record this video. First one didn't go without sound, so we're going. Anyways, this is going to be a video about my NAIC team. It's just a quick overview. When I get home, I will go into more detail of the team and how it went. But basically, it is a variation of the Iron Valiant team that I used to get to Master Ball earlier in the month. So I've been working a lot with this team throughout this month and the month before. This has been my idea for NAIC for a while. It started out with Iron Valiant being a way to stop Trick Room. I tried a bunch of different teams, and a big problem that I was coming across is that I had a hard time stopping or shutting down the Trick Room mode. So this strategy that I'm using is a way to stop the Trick Room, and basically it was with Imprison Iron Valiant. So you have the Trick Room, you have the Imprison, and you also have Imprison on Dazzling Gleam, which could be really good against a Choice Specs Fluttermane. So it originally was Terra Poison, but I had to switch to the Terra Ghost because for the Trick Room, stopping the Trick Room, if you brought a Fake Out Mon, then you would just Fake Out the Iron Valiant and get Trick Room up anyway. So Terra Ghost was the adjustment for that. So it was very gimmicky. Iron Valiant is very frail, even though I have a decent amount invested into the, the attack, the defense and special defense and HP. And so the conclusion I came down to is that Screamtail kind of does the same thing with almost the same spread, but you get more out of it. HP wise, bulk wise, defensive wise, special defensive wise, and it's a little easier to invest into the speed, and you still hit pretty well, and you still get access to the Dazzling Gleam. So you might be wondering, why are you going special, especially on Iron Valiant, and Screamtail can do more sometimes with Play Rough? Well, honestly, with the Chi-Yu on the team, the special attackers do a lot more, and you get more benefit out of these special attacks next to the Chi-Yu. So that's really what this team was for. Chi-Yu is one of the big damage dealers on this team. So with the Screamtail here, I still have the booster energy to get the speed boost, but you also have Protect, Dazzling Gleam, and Trick Room. The Trick Room is to stop the Trick Room, and also Screamtail is bulky enough where if you need to reverse the Trick Room later on in the match, it's totally okay. With Iron Valiant, that was a lot harder to do. So the one thing that I wanted to pull from the Screamtail is the Encore. So I thought about Disable, I thought about Thunderwave, and honestly, when it comes to Disable, the only way that is more beneficial is if it is something like a Choice Specs Mon, like a Scarf Mon, something like that. In that case, other than that, I think that Encore is a little more useful of a move. You can lock a Pokemon into Protect, you can lock a Pokemon into like Setup, and I think that can be more beneficial here. So I went with the Encore over the Disable, over the Thunderwave. And I didn't have to go Thunderwave because I have the Thunderwave on Gyarados. Gyarados is my Intimidate Mon. It has the Eye of Papaberry with Thunderwave, Taunt, Waterfall, and Iron Head. Waterfall is the big damage dealer, and then Iron Head is to take advantage of the Steel Terra, which is more of a defensive Terra, but it also does really good damage into Fluttermane. So you have the Iron Head there to put on pressure onto Fluttermane. So there's that. Speed Control, Intimidate, that's what Gyarados does. Taunt is there to shut down Amoonguss and to shut down Trick Room teams that might, fake out the Screamtail. So in some matchups, if you are leading your Fake Out with Trick Room, I can always just go Gyarados and Screamtail, or I can go Gyarados and Amoonguss, and you have to decide, are you going to Fake Out the Screamtail and stop the Trick Room? Are you going to Fake Out the Gyarados and stop the Taunt? Are you going to Fake Out the Amoonguss and stop the Spore? Having those different options to shut down Trick Room makes it a lot easier to deal with Trick Room. And the one thing that I do like with Trick Room on Screamtail is that with my slower mons of the team, if I'm going against a team that's overall faster with something like Tailwind or something like that, you can always use Trick Room there to run Trick Room yourself. And that's an option that I've always really liked with teams, is to have that option for more than one speed mode. So I do like the option of I can be the fast team or I can be the Trick Room team. I think it's really useful to be able to operate in different modes well with the same team. The next part of the defensive core is Amoonguss. This Amoonguss is pretty standard. It is Regenerator, Citrus Berry, Pollen Puff, Spore, Rage Powder, Clear Smog. Clear Smog is there for Dondozo and other setup mons. Rage Powder is there for redirection. Pollen Puff is there for just some little damage, but mostly recovery, because some of these mons can be pretty frail. So if you can take advantage of a passive play and heal one of those mons, you can do really well. And also mons like Screamtail and Gyarados, if you can keep them healthy longer, they can just be more obnoxious to the opponent's team. And Spore. I was worried about Terra Water being too standard on the Amoonguss, but there's not really another Terra type that gives it as much defensive coverage that Water does. And besides the occasional like Thunderbolt on Fluttermanes and Golden Goes or an Iron Hands, Water is a solid defensive Terra type. So I'm still going with the Water. Next up is Iron Bundle. So Iron Bundle is my speed control, and it is one of the damage dealers. We have the Focus Sash here because Screamtail has the booster energy, so I feel like Focus Sash, just guaranteeing that Iron Bundle is going to stay around for at least one turn unless they double up on it, is really good. So we have the Terra Ghost if we need to stop the fake out and put pressure on immediately. And that's really about it. We have Protect, Icy Wind, Freeze Dry, and I want to say that Water Pulse is the only unique option when it comes to my Iron Bundle. So Water Pulse is something that I kind of looked at during the Paldea prologue, and I like Water Pulse because 1, it doesn't miss like Hydro Pump, and 2, there is a small chance for a confusion. So when you add that into the Thunder Waves that Gyarados can have, the redirection, or the Spore that Amoonguss can have, getting a additional confusion on those statuses can be really good. Not to mention that if Bundle is in a position next to Chi-Yu or my Chi-Yu, for example, Water Pulse can do really good damage when you have the Beads of Ruin activated. So Water Pulse is there to take advantage of the Beads of Ruin. Like I said, a lot of this team is centered around synergizing well with Chi-Yu and getting big damage out because of that. And I say big damage with Water Pulse because you are minimizing the risk of missing, like you would have with Hydro Pump, and adding the confusion chance just adds a little more RNG in your favor, which is never bad. Next up is Great Tusk. Great Tusk is the main damage dealer on the physical side, and it is kind of either the, lead and try to wreak havoc mon, or the way that I tend to use it more as a set up an end game where Great Tusk can just come in and sweep. So it is the Choice Scarf, so it does do pretty well with speed tiers, this and that. Choice Scarf is not unusual with Great Tusk though. We have the Fire Terror to help deal with opposing Fluttermanes, so you can, take a Dazzling Gleam, hopefully take a Moonblast, and deal a lot of damage in return. You have Rock Slide, Headlong Rush, Earthquake, and Close Combat. Basically the standard moves. I tend to click Rock Slide more than anything, especially if I'm not next to the Gyarados. If Gyarados is on the field, then you can safely click Earthquake. If not, you either have to protect with your partner and take a more passive turn, or damage your partner, which none of those are good options here. So the Great Tusk is here to, just come in and try to do as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible. And that can be done with the help of Intimidate from Gyarados and Thunder Wave from Gyarados, Speed Control with Icy Wind from Iron Bundle, and then Redirection from with Amoonguss. So hopefully this works out. I love Great Tusk, so hopefully I can get it some wins. The last mon on the team is the Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu is going to be the main damage dealer. A lot of this team is built around synergizing well with the Chi-Yu, enabling it to do damage and get a nasty plot off. So this is more of a bulkier Chi-Yu. So to do the best damage that you can, you want to get off at least one nasty plot. And so the team is kind of built around either giving Chi-Yu like the advantage with speed, or to either put the opposing mons to sleep, or Thunder Wave with Gyarados and Amoonguss. Heat Wave, Dark Pulse, just the standard Chi-Yu moves. We have the leftovers for recovery, so with Chi-Yu, you kind of can play a little passive sometimes, and that's when you have to start around the pivoting with its partners. But other than that, it's, not a bad Chi-Yu. Terra Grass is so you don't have to worry about redirection from Amoonguss. And with Chi-Yu, as long as you get a nasty plot off, you are doing pretty well. So we'll see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think about the team in the comments down below. If you want to see how I did, I'm probably giving updates either on the Discord or on the Twitter. Those links for that will be in the description down below. But let me know what you think. If you guys made it this far in the video, I want to say thanks for watching. And until we have an update on how I did for NAIC, that's probably going to be all. Until next time, I'm Zach, and we'll see everyone later.